Hello again, everybody. Thought I'd come to you again this beautiful morning and tell you a little bit of good news. I've been fighting a battle inside myself, my own heart, for a while now. And because the Bible says that many are called, but just a few are chosen. And it says in one part in that old black book, it says that He don't call the equipped; He equips the called. And I was called to preach as a little old bitty boy. And I run from that for a long time, and then I got into church, and I'd get out of church, and I'd get into church. I lost a lot of trust in myself as far as myself goes. I thought, man, I'm not worthy to be in this part of the preaching and the teaching of Jesus Christ. And because of my life that I had lived in my past, man, my past killed me. We've all sinned, but it seemed like to me I beat myself up for so long about what I'd done. I was nothing. I was a very selfish, prideful man, and didn't care about nothing or no one but myself. I always worked and took care of my family, and always done the best I could on that end of it. But when it come to me and my personal walk, man, I was a selfish man and a very prideful man. But so I got away from God. I got away from the calling that God had put upon my life, and I run for a long time. I got mixed up in some alcohol, and everybody knows me knows that story. Got down into that addiction of life, and man, I just separated myself from everybody and everything, and started walking and hoeing an old tough road. I brought a lot of that junk on myself, and once, that old song says, my Aunt Betty sang a song, it's sin will take you further than you want to go. And I did. I got way away from the grace of God, and I got away from it. I got away from the church people, church folk, man, I'd run down people like that. Man, I ain't going back to the church. And it was all because of me, selfish pride in me, and that's one of the biggest things that we have to understand as a Christian, or excuse me, as getting into the walk of life is, man, you can't have no ideals of your own. It has to be God. I heard a man preach yesterday, Mr. Kane Riggs, and that man preached a message about getting, and he preached a message about sometimes we get down in that hole, and we feel like we're not worthy. We feel like we ain't nothing, and then when we do get out of it a little bit, we want to try to take the reins for ourselves and do things for ourselves. Man, if you walk in this life in yourself, you will fall. I'm living proof of that. A lot of you don't know my story, and I won't go into all of that. That God has delivered me from a bunch of stuff. But I've had 3 different gentlemen and then 2 women that I've talked to, and this Facebook deal, it touches a lot of people, and a lot of people watch it. I'm not trying to be no big, Joel Osteen or something like that. I'm not nothing like that. I'm just me, and I can't relate to a lot of things that's happened in a lot of people's lives, but I can relate to a lot of things that has happened to a lot of people in their lives. And I may not touch all of my Facebook friends with these videos and things like that, and that's all right. But if there's one out there that this helps, that gives a little bit of that encouraging word, and that's all it takes, As I was talking to a brother in the Lord last night, went over to listen to him preach a message, and these 3 messages that I've heard preach, Brother Heath Cole, he preached a message. I heard Brother Kane Riggs preach a message, and then last night I heard Brother Jack Sloan, and all 3 of them fellers gave me the confirmation that I'd been praying for God to show me something. We get in those places in our life sometimes like, God, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the absolute best I can, Lord. Why am I not seeing things happen? Why am I not seeing something break loose, Lord? It just feels like I'm just bound down. Well, man, a lot of times you got to give God the reins. Not a lot of times, all the time. You got to give him the reins and say, Lord, I'm nothing. So many times old Joel tries to, I try to fix things in myself, and I can't. I couldn't break that addiction of alcohol. I could not. My kids couldn't help me. I went through divorce and all that junk, and that's all behind me now. I'm over all that stuff. But that kind of stuff, a man, if he wallers in that, old mess, that's all you're ever going to be, man. That's all you're ever going to worry about is, poor me, and what. bottom line is, I'm tired of living in my past. I've got a past, people. And it haunted me for years. I feel like I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough for the throne room of God. I'm not good enough to stand behind a pulpit. A lot of times in my life, people have invited me to church and said, Brother Joe, won't you bring that guitar, son? We'd love to hear you sing. And I thought, I can't go. I can't go. It wasn't because I don't love this guitar and love playing. God gave me this talent when I was 14 years old. An old man right here in McCurtain, Oklahoma, named Johnny Nixon gave me an old guitar. I didn't know nothing about it. But a woman had come to me in a church service one time, a little kid. She said, Brother, she said, if you put your mind to them strings, she said, God's going to give you a talent that no man can take away. And he did. God did. I'm not the best guitar player, man. There's hundreds of them out there a lot better than me. But God gave this to me. God gave this to me, this ability. I couldn't do it my own self. But for a long time, I used it for sin. I used it in them old honky tonks and them old clubs, and boy, and I played a lot of good bands, met a lot of good people, There's still good people out there, in all walks of life, and all these generations that I've played of different older musicians and younger ones. There's a lot of good people out there. But getting back to what God had called me to do. When I'd done all these things and I took this talent and I put it out somewhere out there in the old bars and clubs and stuff and played all kinds of manner of things, I felt I can't play this guitar at a church house and then go next Saturday night play at a bar. I'm not built like that. I can't do that. So I just stayed away from church. I stayed away from it. People would ask me, man, bring a guitar and play at church. Oh, I can't. I got to work. I got to do this. But you know what? I gave my heart and soul back to the Lord, the good Lord. And I said, God, I don't want me in the way no more. And, and the old devil, and the old prideful man we are, we think, man, I can't go back and see them. People, they know how I lived. They've seen my lifestyle. Man, we live in a town this big around, and people's mouths are this big around. So we're never going to satisfy people. The Bible even says that a prophet is without honor in his own country. And I know what he's talking about. That old Joel Murray, I wouldn't have it. No, he ain't worth nothing. I've heard that more than once. But you know what? I based my life off that for a long time. I can't go over there. I don't have the fancy clothes and this. I don't need that. And friend, if you're out there today and you're watching this video and you're bound by addiction or you're bound by your own thoughts of I'm not good enough for that, brother, you ain't. But neither are they. The Bible says we've all sinned and come short of the glory. The Bible says that a man born of a woman, our days are few and full of trouble. And he said, how do I be born again? Born again means brand new. I don't live that old man life. And it took me a long time to understand this. And I've stood behind pulpits. I used to teach Sunday school back a long time ago, but when the man gets away from the fold, that old things come back on him and he just buries himself down and he just gets so far down, he feels like, I cannot shake this. I can't do it. I'd go to church and I'd just have my head down and people think, well, the Lord's surely dealing with old Joe. Look at him. Man, it was shame. I was so ashamed of what I was. But you know what? At an old-fashioned altar, and it wasn't at no big fancy church. It wasn't even at church at all, if you know the truth about it. I knelt down in there beside my bed one night. I said, Lord, I'm tired. I'm tired of living like I did. I'm tired of living this way. And Lord, I said, on top of all that, I'm tired of being beat down by my past. That was yesterday. I'm not that same man. Like this morning when I got up and got dressed and fixing to go to work, sitting here doing my paperwork this morning at the ranch, I put on some clean clothes. I got out of the wash machine dryer right there. I'm still who I am. I still look the same. I still walk the same. I still talk the same. But I got on a new garment. And that's the way it is when God cleanses a man. I may wear the clothes that I had the same as the other day when it was dirty before I washed them. But when God comes in to a man's life, he washes him from the inside out. And people, a lot of times, they don't want to take the time to see that. And I don't care about people no more. I'm tired of letting my past and letting what I think Now, hear me, like what I think people think about me. I don't even know what they thought a lot of times. I would just go into that thinking that, man, I'm nothing, and I can't be around these people or that. They know how I lived. I don't care about my past no more. I'm done living in that day. It's a brand new day. And I'm going to let you know this morning, or this evening, whenever y'all watch this, if y'all do, if there's one out there, I'm not going to touch everybody, and that's all right. But if there's one out there, get a hold of me, message me on this thing. I'll talk to you. I don't know everything about it, but I do know I can relate to bevmo alcohol, drugs, and bar rooms, and that old life of sin. Man, I won't get into all of that because I'm not, but I'm not living that way no more. I'm not that man no more. The Bible says happy is the man whose sins are forgiven. And my sins are forgiven. I'm done. I'm done living that trash and that filth. And I'm tired of living in that manner of thinking that, man, I ain't good enough. We ain't none of us good enough. The Bible says that our righteousness is a filthy, dirty rag. I'm never going to be good enough, but by the grace of God, He come down to me. I couldn't go to Him, but He come to me, and He will you too, friend. Well, I know that I'm not worthy to call upon His name. All my life I've been a sinner, Lord, and for that I'm ashamed. But I heard that you would listen, so I'm giving you my plea. I'm too unworthy, Lord, to come to you. Could you please come down to me? I guess I must be reaping the seeds that I had sown. Oh no, Lord, you owe me nothing. We haven't spoken for so long, but I think I just hit bottom, and I'm looking up to see. Lord, to come to you. Could you please come down to me? And I know that there are others that can offer more than I. So Lord, I promise you I'd understand if for me you have no time. Hit bottom, and I'm looking up to see. I'm too unworthy, Lord, to come to you. Could you please come down to me? Listen to this. Well, I guess I must be reaping those seeds that I have sown. We've all been there. Lord, you owe me nothing. We haven't spoken for so long, but if you could spare some mercy, Lord, I pledge my life to Thee. Thank you, Lord. I'm too unworthy, Lord, to come to you. Would you please come down to me? He's come down to me. The Bible says, with a broken heart and a contrite spirit, confess in your heart, believe in your mind, you shall be saved, man. It's good news right there. Boy, I love that song, man. Anyway, I'm just trying to help somebody out there today. You know, we all need a friend once in a while, and I've been there myself. Can't find nowhere one around that you want to talk to, and that you can lean on and depend on, you know, without them running their mouth to everybody else. But there's a true friend, my friend. His name is Jesus Christ. That even a most unworthy as myself can call upon him and say, Lord, if you just help me, if you'll just give me what you think I need in my life, and help me, Lord, day to day, because I'm going to fall. I'm going to, like Paul said, I'm going to sin and die daily. I'm not perfect. None of us are. But we're living by faith under the grace of God. He's an advocate with the Father, my friend. And everything that we do and go through in our life, he's at the right hand of the Father making intercession. The Lord, my God, you know old Joe Boy. The life that he lived, help him. Surround him. Build up that wall of protection around him. And friend, I guarantee you, just call upon him. You ain't got to be in no stained glass window church and no knee-deep carpet and big pews and them big fancy three-piece suits. You ain't got to be in that to call upon the name of the Lord. I read a story one time, one of the most touching stories in the Bible, one of my favorites, was when Jesus was crucified on that cross and there was two thieves hanging there. And we've all been that one thief that when we get into trouble, Lord, I need your help. You got to. You got to do this. Lord, and if you be who you say you are, get me off of this cross and you yourself. Call down them angels. But that other on the other side, I could just see him hanging there in his shame and his sin. And he had old blood running down his face and probably had his head turned away from the good Lord. And he said, I know who you are. I know who you are. He said, and I'm just paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what was said. Nobody does. But I could just see that thief hanging there on that cross that knew what he was. He knew he was a thief. Knew he was nothing. He said, Lord, you know, he said, I know who you are. And he said, I could just imagine how he felt. I wish they'd have picked another day to hang me on this cross. I'm not even worthy to hang by you because I know who you are. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I've done. Jesus hanging on that cross. Not in that big old cathedrals. Not in that big old fancy church house. Not in them big old fancy limousines and all that junk. Hanging on a cross, dying. Said to that man, he said, today you shall be with me in paradise. And he forgave that sinner. Hanging on the cross with him right there, he had enough mercy that this is what it was about. That he forgave him. And he told him, he said, today, you going with me, boy. You know, I'm telling you something. I may never be in big lights and all that jazz. I don't care about that no more. I don't care about that at all. But someday, if I hold true, we hold on to what the good Lord has planned for us. Even an old rank sinner boy as myself can call upon him and say, Lord, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy to even call upon your name, but I'm sorry for what I've done. And the life I lived, I'm going to make it brand new. And he says, enter in. Thou good and faithful servant. Come on in. Got you a brand new mansion sitting right here. Man, for a man that can't even rub two nickels together some days, I'm heir and joint heirs to a kingdom. Have y'all thought about that? Man, that's good news. That's good news. All I done was simply pray to him. Said, Lord, forgive me. and I'm done with the junk I used to do, man, that's good enough for me. I hope it's good enough for you too. A kingdom. Man, that's good. Y'all have a great day. You know, like I always say, you don't got to take my word for it. Genesis, Revelation. Read the book. It's where it's at. I love y'all, and I appreciate everything that y'all do and sharing my videos and commenting on them. I appreciate it. But above all that, if you know somebody that is fighting a battle with addiction or alcohol or drugs or anything, don't run them people down. Because you don't know what's going on in their mind. You don't know what's causing them to be at the point in their life they are. I've been with people. Look at that old dope head, man. Ain't nothing. And there's a reason. There's a reason. But God loved us all. Help him. You wanna talk about the goodness of God. Spread it then. You know, you want to talk about something on Facebook, you want to put something on there, put something good. Put the goodness of Jesus Christ. I guarantee it, man. We can talk about all kinds of things and you get them 150, 200,000 likes and shares and all those kinds of go viral, as they say. Spread the good news of Jesus Christ. Man, I tell you, it's going to be worth it. I love y'all. Y'all keep praying for me and my family.